Hey, so before we get started in this class, I'm going to explain kind of the basic idea behind why we do the way we do in this class. A lot of the instruction you're going to get in this class about any topic you're going to learn, the first kind of instruction you're going to get is going to be like this, where you watch a video from me. And the reason for that is to kind of let you go at your own pace. So if I say something to an entire class, there's a good chance that about half of you aren't listening. And so the problem with that becomes that the half of you that were, for whatever reason, there's no judgment attached to that, like I space out all the time. The half of you that were, you're ready to go on to the next thing. And the half of you that weren't, for whatever reason, just aren't ready to go on to the next thing. And this creates an ongoing problem in this class then, or in any class, because some people are ready to learn, some people need some things repeated, and then we can't all be ready to do the same thing. So by doing videos like this and having me explain things to you this way, when you're tired or like when you're not catching something, you can just kind of hit the pause button and take a second, or you can go rewind the video for a second if you're like, oh man, my head was like elsewhere, and then go back to it and rewatch it and make sure you get everything. And the reason we do all of that is based on this idea of called mastery learning. And mastery learning is the foundation of what this class is about. I mean, yeah, we're doing language arts, or yeah, we're doing digital literacy, or yeah, we're learning about just the basics of how to kind of act and be at school, depending on which one of my classes you're taking. But in all these classes, we're doing it through a way of mastery learning. And here's what mastery learning is all about. I got a little presentation. So here you go. If we think about traditional learning in school, and this is the kind of learning that I went through when I was in school, here's how it works. Step one, teacher gives instructions or examples. And that probably has already happened to you today. Like a teacher goes up, or maybe because it's early in the year, maybe not today, but last year, teacher goes up, does a lesson, right? Gives you instructions and examples. Step two, so then you get homework and assignments, and which are essentially for you to practice the thing the teacher just told you about. Which, if you were listening to step one, or if the things in step one made sense, you're ready to do. And if not, we already kind of have a problem because you're not ready to practice. But either way, you get homework and blah, 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 and you do your homework. And then step three, you get a test or some sort of assignment that's like, okay, did you get it? Like, do you know how to do this thing that I tried to teach you how to do as the teacher? And after that, you get a grade, usually. And you could probably think back to the last test you got a grade on. I got tons of grades when I was in school. And usually it's from like 0 to 100. And that 0 to 100 is supposed to indicate like how well you understand it. Like, do you 100% get it? Did you get 100%? Or do you like 70% get it? Like, did you not be like getting a C or something? Like, you kind of got it, but maybe some big things that are still missing you don't quite understand yet. So step five, here's where I see kind of the problem and the reason we don't do things in a traditional way in this class, because step five is that the class moves on to the next concept, which is great for those people that got like 90 to 100% on the test, because they're ready to learn the next thing. They got the last thing, they're ready to go. But for folks that didn't, you might not be ready to learn the next thing, because a lot of times in school, the way things work is that in order to learn the next thing, you have to learn the first thing. Like if you think about like learning how to spell, well, if you didn't have your ABCs memorized, you couldn't learn how to spell a word. So that doesn't make any sense that if I give you a test on your ABCs and it was like, oh, cool, well, yeah, you're pretty good at like half the letters, but you don't know the other half. Okay, now it's time to learn how to spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like, that wouldn't make sense, right? Because you would be like, well, I don't know all the letters, so how would I do that? But in school, we do this to you guys all the time. We're like, oh, well, you didn't really understand the last concept, but okay, just time for the next one. And here's the problem. You needed to know the stuff you were just tested on in order to learn that new concept. So if you did well in the new test, new concept, easy. If you didn't do so well in the test, the next one's going to be even harder. And then the next one after that will probably even be harder. And this system is the reason some people end up thinking like, oh, I'm not good at school, or I'm not good at math, or I'm not good at language arts. It's not that you're not good, it's just that you needed a little more practice on whatever the first thing is that you learned. You just need another shot at it, because then you would have been ready for the next thing. You can all learn it, you got it. But the way we structure our schools is that we make everybody go at the same pace and push everybody to do exactly the same thing. It's like, oh, well, moving on. And then people end up thinking they're not good at it, which is not the case at all. You're all good at this. It might just take some of you a little bit longer to do a thing than other people. And so this model we do in schools, this would be nuts. We don't do this anywhere else. Like, there's no other place in the world we do it, which to me is crazy, because like teaching you guys, like educating you guys, to me, that's like the most important thing we can do as a society. Like, you guys have to make sure the world is still functioning when I'm old and decrepit and I can't take care of myself. You have to make sure like the whole thing just doesn't explode. So to me, you guys are super important. We wouldn't do this style of teaching, like this old traditional model. We wouldn't apply that anywhere else. Like, let's imagine we're going to build a house, right? And then you have to make a cement foundation, like the big piece of cement that goes underneath the house, right? For the house to stand on. And so I want it to be done in a week. Okay, so I'm going to build this house. I want it to be done in a week. And at the end of the week, only 70% of that cement foundation is done, which is kind of like maybe you have a week to do an assignment, and at the end of the week, or you have a week to like study for a test, and at the end of the week you take your test and you get 70%. Okay, so you get 70%. My house is my foundation is 70% done. And my foundation looks like this. It's not quite done. I mean, it's a good effort. Some of it's done, but it's not quite finished. Would I start building the first floor of that house? Like, no, that would be insane. Like, what's going to happen to the house? Like, it's going to fall down. It's not going to be a sturdy house. The first floor is not going to work right. There's going to be like big holes in the floor and stuff because only 70% of the thing that holds the floor up is done. But I think learning should be the same way, that we shouldn't move on when you're not ready to move on. If I'm going to teach you a thing and it's a thing you're going to need to know to do the next thing, well, then why would I like just push you along when you're not ready for it? That doesn't make any sense. So if I let you not meet standard on any assignment that is checking your understanding of a concept or skill, what we're going to need for the rest of the year, and then just let you move on, it would be like me letting you build a house on an unfinished foundation, which to me is not a very good idea. And for you, because not all classes are going to work like my class, I would just give this as advice to you. If you let you not meet standard on an assignment that's checking your understanding of a concept or skill you're going to need for the rest of the year, and then you just let you move on, it's like you letting you build your house on an unfinished foundation. And I can't control that for all your classes, but know that if you don't get standard, if you're not hitting like the 90 to 100% in most of your classes on most of like assessments, like tests, you might want to start talking to your teachers, because what you're doing is kind of setting up a pattern where you're not ready for the next thing. So go in and seek that extra help. In my class, I'm not going to give you the option to move on, because I want to make sure you get everything so you have a fair shot at learning every next thing. So I think technology can help us with this, and this is why we're going to use computers in this class. We're not using a computer just because like I like typing more than I like handwriting, which I do. But that would be dumb. That'd be like a lot of money and a lot of time spent for just something that's like my personal preference. I think having access to these devices for you can totally change the way we do school. Because there's websites out there designed to help you figure out things you need to learn or to make things in school easier. And, you know, not so much in language arts will we use those, but in my other classes we'll use those a bunch. For math and science, there's really good resources. Khan Academy is great, and so most of this, if you're in my language arts class, you're like, why are we talking about this? I'm like, yeah, I get it. This is also a presentation from my 8th grade technology class and my 7th grade intro to professionalism and technology. So this is for everybody though. You may need to redo assignments, and it's not on Kira. It's on Canvas. You may need to redo assignments on Canvas. And I should have read through this. So on Canvas, when you submit an assignment to me, you very well may need to redo it if it doesn't meet standard. Now, I'm not just going to send it back to you and be like, oh, you didn't get it. Guess what's wrong? I'll tell you what you need to do, but it's going to need to be redone and resubmitted to meet standard before you can move on. However, this is key. Going into this class, the better you can train yourself to do the following things, the faster you'll move. And now, if you think about this, this is probably the most important part in terms of you seeing yourself as moving at a good pace in this class, is just make sure you're being efficient, which means using your time super wisely. If there are directions, read them. Not because it's necessarily the right thing to do, because it'll save you time overall if you read the directions. If there's an example, read it or look at it. If there's a rubric, like a bunch of boxes telling you what it takes to meet standard, read it and look at it closely. Stay on task. Don't rush. Take your time. You don't get to rush through assignments, and I will not pass you along on a rush assignment. I'll send it back to you, telling you what needs to be done to fix it. Review your work. definitely take a good look over your work. Make sure it meets those standards. Because the less attempts it takes you to complete an assignment, overall, that's the faster you're going to move in this class. The less times you have to send it back to me and I have to send it back to you, the faster you're going to go. Also, use the people around you. You're sitting with people who can help you out. If you're stuck on something in directions, ask them. And then I'm still your teacher. Ask me. Raise your hand. I'll come over and talk to you. I'll come around and check on you. Other times I might be up here looking at people's things they're turning into me. And if I am, just raise your hand. I'll come over and talk to you. My first job is to help you. And whether or not I'm helping you by giving you feedback through this, through Canvas, or I'm trying to help you by coming over and talking to you. Whatever it is, come talk to me. All right, so that's Mastery Learning Explained. Let's get to it.